If you thought Charlie Kirk's open-air debating style was slowly revealing the divide in American society, his death has managed to split it wide open with a crack deeper than the eyes can see. Across the spectrum, people agree that the killing represents a broader problem in American society, but that is only how far the agreement goes.
American society has come to a point where expressing yourself can be difficult. Even though we have that First Amendment right, it can get you into trouble.
The message that I think that it sends is that, to be honest, that some people are willing to die for their views.
Again, in certain situations, conservative views are widely known, especially considering who our current president is. The nation is pulling more conservative.
Social media and mainstream media has got us so divided that we hate each other on each side.
This is the HT In-Depth, and we are looking at America's war with itself. On September 10th, Charlie Kirk, the high-profile conservative activist who helped shape the GOP's youth movement, was shot while speaking at a university event. The horror of his assassination added a dangerous catalyst to America's political reality. To many on the right and from the top of the Republican Party, this was not a random act of violence. It was an assassination of a conservative voice. That narrative moved quickly from social media into the halls of power when the president and senior administration allies publicly mourned Kirk and blamed the quote-unquote radical left for creating a poisonous climate.
This is a dark moment for America. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now.
Charlie had such faith and such belief, and he wanted to share that truth with others. And what he was trying to do is pull people back from the abyss, not just to save a country, but to save souls. That's what Charlie Kirk was about.
Charlie was killed on September 10th. On September 11th, we observed the 24th anniversary of the Islamist terrorist attack on our country 24 years ago. Now, these events have something in common. They were both carried out by those who hold on to ideologies that cannot stand up to scrutiny and challenge.
At vigils and in private messages, supporters began to frame Kirk as a martyr. Religious leaders pushed a language of spiritual battle, almost urging that his death not to be mourned quietly but answered. His wife spoke of a promise which almost sounded like vengeance.
If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country. In this world, you have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
On the left, the posture was different but no less intense. Most Democrats and liberal commentators condemn the killing, calling for unity. They feel the risk now is that grief will be turned into justification for punitive actions. Kirk was not just a conservative commentator, he was a cultural architect. His rhetoric on Christianity, on restricting abortion, on sealing the border, on rolling back what he called quote-unquote woke ideology, these are all animating forces within Trump's Republican Party. Now, with Kirk cast as a martyr, those ideas may carry a new kind of moral authority. And here's the risk. Grief curdles into policy. What began as memorials and tributes could harden into legislative pushes. More restrictions on abortion, new curbs on immigration, protection for Christian institutions framed as national security priorities. And we are seeing signs of it in the first week itself. Any public comment on Kirk's death seen as quote-unquote inappropriate are being met with punishment. Universities in red states have fired or suspended employees over social media posts. A Secret Service employee was placed on immediate leave after he claimed Kirk spewed racism and hate. NASDAQ fired an employee for social media posts that were seen condoning violence. A worker for a prominent NFL team was censored after publishing opinions on Kirk's politics or death. And these decisions are politically driven because the vice president himself has said this. People who see someone celebrating Charlie's murder should call them out, call their employer. We don't believe in political violence, but we do believe in civility, and there is no civility in the celebration of political assassination. There is no doubt that the public is jittery. Polls in the days after the killing show vast majorities say political violence is a problem. Roughly 9 in 10 Americans say it's a problem, and 6 in 10 call it a very big problem. While the problem has been identified, the debate over who bears the responsibility continues. You see, the math is simple. Most Americans reject violence, but the meaning of this moment, that's fractured. One side sees proof the other is dangerous. The other side sees its rights being curtailed. The question is, which side is right? Maybe both. In the sense that both sides are telling true stories about America, but neither is telling the whole one. You've been watching HT In Depth. Thank you.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.